And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the formal league. Let's change the screen over to our beautiful faces before we continue on. My name's Chris. I'm being joined by Quirky, and well, Quirky, you've rejoined us on probably the best week to rejoin us here, where there's only one way to call it. It's going to be a meme fest.
It's Singapore and Monaco this week. It is the week of absolute carnage, as people would like to call it. And I am expecting so many carnage right now. So much.
Yeah, I mean, how else can you call it, really? I mean, we've got two of the tightest tracks effectively on the F1 calendar, and, yeah, we're just going to see a lot of cars probably hit the wall, but in saying that, we could see a few upset results because of it as well, because, I mean, we might have drivers like, well, I'm thinking some midfield drivers like Formal, Tico, Bassink, who try to keep clean, and they might be able to just push forward if, let's say, one of the leaders maybe have a bit of a moment coming out of turn 4 of Singapore, or to back, or Casino, or so many corners in Monaco. But anyways, we go into the game now as qualifying begins. Yep, there we go, and it looks like the game is not fitted well for some reason, so let me fix that up on my end. So we'll just go back to our faces for a quick second, but no one's out yet, so you're not missing too much, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, Quirky, this is...
Yep.
No, I was just going to say, how do you think this qualifying is going to go? Because it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how many people decide to, go off before they can set a time, as we do have now everybody coming out. Full lineup, the full train behind them, starting with Tico, and looking like to end with Moni. Everybody coming out now. It's going to be a crowded track, and if we get a wreck, we might see people, having to slow down to stop their times as well. So, it all depends on how well we show the first 5 minutes of growth.
It does, as we do just see the cars begin to swing around now. Hopefully, they will be hopefully they will get to the corners or to the side lap as quickly as they can without too many issues. We'll say with Kato here to kick things off, as well, he's probably a driver who is expected to be at the front, but well, his driving in the race has been a little bit inconsistent. I mean, most of that is probably due to ping, but yeah, it can result into some odd situations for Kato.
I'll be starting up his hot lap pretty soon as we go through the last couple of our lap is validated, but right aboard with him. Has got a couple now. It's here. They should be able to avoid it. Hard onto the brake in the first corner. Into that little bit of a chicane fast tweaking left, right, and then the full corner into the run down. And now we have the DRS zone up and available. Since it's not raining, thank God.
I mean, God, if it was raining, I mean, we had a practice race on Monaco just a few minutes ago where it was raining in qualifying, and safe to say that not many people enjoyed it. So, yeah, if there's any sort of rain today, this is, oh boy, it's going to be just adding another layer of pain to these drivers today as Kato continues to make his way around. He's gone alright in his first bit here as he makes some past grids and into that somewhat tricky hairpin. Can easily get a fair bit of understeer or oversteer heading out of the corner into the DRS back straight. He's going to get a 104.7, which is pretty much on par for the top guys here in time. So Kato looking to try and get a very good lap done here early. Maybe a tad too much curve as they enter the floating stadium at Marina Bay underneath the stands and through this very tight, very technical chicane final sector as well. Out into the final corner is probably going to be a sub 140. And as we come across the line, yeah, it's a 138.3. Huge stuff from Cat on his home track, as we've had an incident at the hairpin, and I think that could be Money having an incident there. Yeah, he's spun it out, which is unfortunate for him, as a few more cars begin to cross the line. We will go to formal. Sing Senpai has just binned it into the wall once again, just after the hairpin, and well, we've just caught that on stream. And as I said, you can get very understeery out of that corner, and it doesn't. It can make your life painful. Yeah, hey, Dino's been a interesting driver this season. He's sort of like Kata. He does get a fair few good races, but can be a bit inconsistent, and he can get caught out in a fair bit of trouble as well, as the cars continue to just slowly put in their times. Darkly has jumped Kata with a 136.5. Just to let you guys know, Stan and Buster, two of our reserve drivers this weekend, they have been pretty fast in practice races so far over the week, so I'll be looking at them to maybe spruik up a bit of an upset here, as we do see Dino just continuing on his outlap here. I don't really think anyone else is actually on a fast lap at the moment. Darkly is probably on his in lap here, as there's been an incident there on the long DRS straight, but looks like it might just be one of the Williams giving up his position.
To conserve the tires. Through the first DRS zone. I'd say rectangular section of the track. Very dying
Yeah, looks like he's just sent it into the corner there at we're just underneath the stadium, as one of the Alpha Towers has punted out just after that little space here. We'll find him very shortly what happens to Money as Heydinho makes his way through, and yeah, looks like he's just driven straight on, and oh no, Heydinho looks like he's had internet troubles there, as he has been sent straight back into the pit. That's horrible stuff for him. a good lap as well.
Looks to be a pretty decent lap at the moment as now right aboard with Formal as he's starting to do his first hot lap. Sweeping left-hander of that final corner. What do we have? One, a good
Yeah, just apologies everyone for the audio issues we're having at the moment. Just to let you know, the F1 game has apparently just taken my Discord and stuffed it up by 50%. So if you are having struggles hearing either of us, because I'm pretty sure my settings have also been affected as well, as a reason why, as Dino continues to have some internet trouble here during this session here. A couple cars now out on the lap here. Let's all look at Jackson as he makes his way over to the former Singapore Sling here, currently in second position with a 136.9. He has been going up quite well in recent races, but as the same thing with a lot of these cars are, they just keep getting caught out in incidents and it really affects them.
Jackson, yeah.
He might have run out of fuel maybe? That's odd, right? Yeah, that's yeah. Kata is currently on a fast lap here, just made his way out of the stands into the final corner. He has improved slightly on his second sector time. Let's see if he can improve on his third. No, he can't. He gets a track limits violation, so he has to dive into the pits. Panda as well has a track limits violation there, so just seeing if anyone might be on a fast lap at the moment. Formal as well, track limits. Everyone copying track limits here, which is very unfortunate. I know Andy Rue is on a fast lap here at the moment, so let's just focus on him here at the moment as he makes his way into the old sling and on to the bridge. Bridge that famously in Singapore's first Grand Prix did actually cause Mark Webber to retire after the structure of the track interfered with some of the magnets in his car and just made it at Red Bull undrivable. He's going alright here, Andy Rue, though. Might be a decent midfield performance for him today if he can keep his nose clean. He is a car that does get into the race quite deeply, actually, without too many issues most of the time. Does obviously get caught up every now and again, but he's been improving over the season, and well, he'll be looking to try to do so again here as he's probably going to be getting about a 141, maybe a 2 here as he crosses the line. It's actually a sub 141 there, a 140.78. Pretty good stuff from there. Lifts him up to 12th. As Dino has been disqualified from the session as, what is Darkley doing there? Yeah, there's no move in the Ferrari garage room as well, as we can just see. So, just see what happens with him. As Dino, well, he'll be joined to find out that he's been disqualified out of the session there for parking in an unsafe spot. Very unfortunate for him. That means he has to start from the back of the pack, but it does offer the opportunity up for him to go for a different strategy to the other front runners, as we're just focusing here on Strand at the moment, or Star. But as you can see with his right side winger, he's missing an end plate there. As Dover has spun it there at the old sling. No one near him, but looks like he's just driven off the corner and hasn't been able to keep it there. So he's into the wall. Might affect a lap or two as Stein comes through in to the pits.
Place grid penalty.
Jackson a 5-place grid penalty. Ooh, that is unfortunate for him. That means best he can hope for now is, well, effectively 6th spot here where Katter is at the moment. At the moment he'll probably be starting in the 7th, which very important stuff there for Jackson as he looks to just warm up his tyres for this for this out lap. Yeah, well, what can you do as our Buster has lost it as well here, so a lot of cars now are, well, they're really starting to lose it here, which is annoying stuff, but well, he's actually lost it at the front straight. Interesting.
Weird. With Baz now, he's on his outlet.
It'll be interesting what time he posts here. Normally he's more of a race runner. Qualifies about between the 3rd and 4th row most of the time, but especially in a race like this, you sort of want to be up the front as much as you can here, so it will be interesting to see how he goes this qualifying on this qualifying lap here as he makes his way through the first 4 corners without too much hassle here. Swings his way wide for that 190-degree corner, heading on to the long DRS straight here through the kink without too many issues here. He'll post a time. It's actually purple as well, 27.06 for Baz there, so a good start for him, but now he needs to make sure his car is going well through the corners. As I'm just seeing if anyone else might be posting a time very shortly. Jackson will be looking to try and improve on his time and catch up to Darkley if he can. He's about to cross the line shortly as Baz continues on here through Sector 2. A little deep there through the off sling, but keeps it nicely through as he goes way too hard through the hairpin there. Doesn't take any of that curve. And he has a smidge of oversteer as well on the way out here. Let's see if it affects his times as he makes his way into the next corner. It's only a green one as there's yellows left, right and centre of him there. Katter has lost it on his lap. He's gone straight on after in the second corner of Sector 2. And well, that's going to affect his chance of posting one more time as Baz hits some debris here. Let's lead to a puncture. No, his tyres are staying good for the moment as he makes his way around to post his time. It won't be good, however. It'll probably be a 1:38.6, and that is bad news for Baz here. He's on the cusp of maybe not even being in the top 10.
Depends how well the rest of the field goes at the moment.
Morab just going up to 6th place there, 1:38.5. Just seeing if there's any other cars that might be doing a fast lap here. I think Formal is finishing off as he's actually massively improved on his second time by at least a second here. So let's see if he can try and get into at least 12th spot here. No, he can only go well for 14th here. And well, this is sort of what I was expecting today, Clerk, as we enter the final 30 seconds of qualifying. We're going to be seeing a very, very mixed up field here, especially with the likes of Baz, and Formal well into the mid-pack.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, qualifying session that we've had here today. So maybe we might see something spectacular happen during the race. I don't know. Guess we'll have to see.
As time runs out here, not many cars on a fast lap at the moment. One of them is Starn. He's actually gone purple in that second sector there, and he beats his time by 0.325, so he's looking to improve here. Might be able to get in front of Sing Senpai if he aces the final sector here as they go through the stand, but he's invalidated his lap time, so he will be probably promoted up to 3rd with Jackson's 5-place grid place penalty.
Sing's read it off at the end of the DRS straight here.
Yep, and Formal has given up. He's just retired at the hairpin. Very unfortunate for him there, but well, there's one car left and that will be Tico. We will follow with him here as he goes to try and post one more fast lap. It's currently at 142.07, so we're looking to try and beat Tilt and Dover, maybe even Max if he can get that speed done here as he comes through. He's improved by a full second there up to Sector 2. Up to the end of Sector 2, that is. And now he'll be looking to try and just add it to it here as he makes his way through the final sector. Careful not to take too much of the curbs. Heading in to the chicane through the stands. Pretty nice line there from Tico, if it's smidge slow. But this is looking good for him here. Definitely on course to improve his time and maybe grab a few extra positions as he makes his way through to the final corner. And he will be posting a 1:49. So that beats out Till and Dover. So he jumps up to 15th to post our final time of the session.
Qualifying session here.
Yeah, it has as it has been an interesting session, I mean. So yeah, I mean, let's just look at the grid here. Darkly in first, Jackson second, but he has a 5th-place position penalty, so we'll drop down a few spots. Then Senpai, Stan, Kata, Mo, Buster, Panda, Bassink, and Baz finish out the top 10. But if you look at the bottom of the grid, well, you can see that there's a fair bit of mix-up here. Dover in 16th, Formal in 14th, Tico's driven nicely to get 15th, and then Hey Dinya, probably the big surprise there, all the way down in 20th, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this race. We will have a few minutes and the formation lap, obviously, to get everything ready to go. And, well, hopefully quickie. Should be a good race.
Yeah, hopefully. As
well, someone's ready up early here, so we don't have too much time to fix our little issues, but it should be good here as I think I've fixed our sound issues. The good old F1 bugs coming through, so as we enter the final 10 seconds, Quirky, your expectations for this race?
Well, at least 2 safety cars, 3 virtual safety cars.
There we go.
And maybe a possible rage quit.
Possible rage quit. Yeah, we might see it as we get underway for this formation lap. And, well, Quirky, the issues have been fixed, so it seems. So, things you just do love to see.
Let's take a look at the tires. Interestingly enough, we do see Bassink, Aspire, Focus, Andy Roof, Formal, Tilt, Midnight, Monet, and Hidino all starting on mediums.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly surprised by that. Especially, I mean, normally in Singapore, you do want to try and extend out your first stint as long as you can, just so you can get into a fair bit of space. I mean, it is going to be a 2-stopper for most of the front runners here. As you can see, Darkly will be having to stop around lap 8, so most of the up front runners will. Baz will probably stop a lap later, along with Formal and Tico. And then the midfield drivers will be interesting to see what they do here. They have the option of the 1-stopper, mediums to hards, but if we are expecting the carnage that we are expecting here, Quirky, then you might be looking to try and get onto softs as often as you can.
So we have Darkly just holding up the pack here, getting his tyres nice and warmed up. Will be interesting to see who decides to dive bomb it into the first corner, who's going to be the victims.
I mean, I mean, it's really the first few corners here. I mean, turns 1, 2, and 3, you can pretty much dive them very easily if you wanted to, especially as you go into that hairpin at 3. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens as cars make their way underneath the stands once again for this 31 lap event. And what Jackson and Tico makes their way straight to the grid via disqualification, the cars begin to line up.
Goes through all the cars, get our grid lined up, and then it's going to be start of the Singapore Grand Prix.
Just have a look through the grid here. The cars lining up. The last one to be in line will be Money as he makes his way on to his grid spot. We'll return to the front of the pack and we'll wait patiently for the 5 red lights. The 1 to 6 second gap until the director gives us a go, and we'll get this 31 lap event of the Singapore Grand Prix underway. As here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The lights are off, and we're underway here at Singapore. Darkly, a decent start from him. Senpai trying to block off Starn as they make their way into the first corner. It's a beautiful spot there from Senpai as he forces Darkly off the track, and he takes the lead. In the back of the field, though, a little bit of drama as Baz is able to get 2 positions early on here. And oh, that's a massive bit of tank slapping there for Baz. Oh, I think Formal actually, as he's now caused a massive cascading effect behind him, and immediately a safety car out as Dover, well, his day has gone from bad from worse. He's lost the front wing and he's sent straight to the back of the pack.
Yeah, that's a big ouchie there. So do you see actually Baz going straight up into 8th here? Wonder what happened there with Dover. So I had my eyes focused on at the front of the pack.
Yeah, it was odd. See, it looks like someone might have spun Formal around because I did catch Max starting to spin. But yeah, after that, I mean, we just unfortunately lost the camera, but I think what happened there was Formal just got spun in and Dover, well, he just drove straight into Max. So yeah, very unfortunate stuff there for the Ferrari driver, who has now got a 5-second penalty as well to his name. Will be able to clear it off during his pit stop, obviously. And well, he'll have plenty of time as well to rejoin the back of the pack, as there should be a fair few cars making their way into the pits as we look at the tyre strategy for Bassink here. It's going to be a 2-stopper for him as well, if on the main, but as I said earlier, you can go mediums to hards here if you do think you can avoid safety cars and maybe time your stop to coincide with one.
Who starts saying this doesn't look like any of the front runners are going to be heading into it.
Morab was the first one. He was in about 6th or 7th spot here. A few more cars will obviously join behind him, one of them being Formal. And then it looks like Midnight as well, who has had a bit of a moment there as well. And obviously Dover, who will need a full wing replacement there. And now let's see what they do with tyres here. Moab just gets a fresh set of mediums going for him there.
Same with Formal.
And
pretty much they all just went on to fresh mediums, seems like.
Yeah, Dover might be the exception here. No, he will actually go on to mediums as well. Midnight going on to hards, so he'll be going for an unconventional tube stop there. Hards probably into softs later on in the race. But for now, those pit stops have been done, we'll head back to the front of the grid where the car's just milling their way around the track here, and well, we haven't really seen a lot of racing so far in this Grand Prix, but yeah, I mean, from what we've seen from it so far, definitely a lot of close quarters action here. And well, probably as you expected, drivers like Baz and Bassink trying to gain positions. I mean, look at Adinho. From last, he's already up to 13th here. Obviously held by 1 or 2 stops in front of him, but still, huge stuff there from one of our leading drivers. And we see Baz, going up to that 7th place. Jackson up
went down to 8th.
Yeah, he's lost
So-
his spot. Yeah. What's happened then? That's a bug because Baz was behind Jackson before, so maybe Jackson might have overcooked the corner.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's odd as once again we do see the predicted strategy here for Jackson. After about lap 6, probably lap 7 now, given that these softs weren't really being pushed all that much. Go to mediums and then mediums again about 16 laps later to finish off the race. So, sorry, about 14 laps later, my apologies there, but yeah, we should see. This is actually one of the things I do love about Singapore. Unless you start on mediums, you pretty much have to two-stop, and well, it can be very, very interesting to see the different strategies that come up here, especially when you get safety cars this early on, because you can extend out that first stint. Someone who won't be will be Buster, who is all the way down to 19th here, but he's had front wing damage, so yeah, he's going to go into mediums here, and he won't be able to use those softs, well, pretty much for any of the racing.
And it doesn't seem like it will get put back into 20th place there, but sorry, plenty of time, to get back up into the pack. Well, considering when we get the safety car in, hopefully at the end of this lap,
hopefully we can get some good racing going. But it's going to be, as I said, this is going to be a very interesting restart here because Senpai now controls the field here. Darkly in second place will be looking to try and regain his pole position. Stan did all right to block off the cars behind him at the start, but then you look behind him, you've got Kata, Panda, Baz, Jackson, Basic, all cars that really want to try and lift up here. So we could see some hectic moves going into the first few corners, especially with the cold tires. We might see drivers like Basic having to hold off the likes of Andy Rudd and Ace Bar, but yeah, this is going to be an interesting restart as we should find out safety cars coming in this lap, and yep, there it is. Sing Senpai now gains control of the field and he's going to immediately slow him up.
I think a bit too early there, but
well, this is probably a track in Singapore where you can be a little closer to the safety cars than others like Monza, Baku. I mean, we all remember what happened to Baku here.
Silverstone as actually Darkly's holding up the whole entire pack behind.
Yeah,
there we go.
There we go. He speeds up, but yeah, interesting call there from Darkly. Doesn't really result in too much here, but he needs to keep the pace up because, I think Star might have caught a bit of interference there from there as Senpai might be getting a massive jump here. He really hasn't been affected at all as safety car now in here. They're about to get back on the green flag racing as he goes at the second to last, and he has had a perfect start. Darkly has to go very wide at Stan. He's got to run on the inside here. He's looking for the dive bomb into the first corner. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Darkly has to just give the position back, or position up now to Stan. As well, he just lost it there at the restart. Cold size, and well, he's now under attack by Kata here, who will have the benefit of the slipstream and a little bit of better exit as well, heading into the straight.
Yeah, heading into first DRS straight. No DRS active, not until lap 5. So 6. Sorry.
I'll tell you what, though, Panda has already built up a little bit of a gap between him and Jackson already here, so that could be huge for the AlphaTauri driver as he tries to latch on to Kata. Let's focus on what's happening around the back of the pack here as Basic and Baz just makes their way through the old sling. Basic really making sure that Baz knows who is behind him at the moment, but these medium tyres, they will become effective in about 2 laps time, so the Basic might just be better off for him to wait for the opportunity to pounce here as his opponent in front of him will eventually start to lose grip on those softs.
Ooh, Jackson overtaking Panda there.
Yeah, good overtake as well as, Well, he just saw the opportunity. He saw the scent of the oily rag, and he just sent it down and got a good overtake from it as they continue to... Well, now Jackson now being released to catch up to Kata and Panda. Now he has to defend to Baz here, and well, Baz, he might have the opportunity here on the outside. He has yellow flags just before the stand here, and oh, Baz has been compromised through the corner, and Basink now makes a run in on the inside, but he's lost pace through the straight, and Baz able to just hold his position now. Nearly made a winning position into a losing one, but he's able to just keep 7th.
Panda's actually being a bit slow in front of Baz. Yeah, so maybe good enough for Basing to try and go for an overtake.
Oh, Kata, oh, he looked for it, but he wasn't able to go for it there. DRS, pretty much a necessary evil here at Singapore, especially on that long back straight where that DRS can make a massive difference, especially coming out of the slight kink, as it looks like Money has lost it there. He just ran straight in to the runoff. Hasn't really got a lot of damage though, as Jackson's out! Jackson has retired from the race, and he's just spun it into, or out of the sling, and well, that's going to cause yet another safety car here. And now this will open it up the strategies for most of the front runners here who are still on softs, and possibly even drivers who are on mediums at the moment. Let's see if anyone decides to go into the pits.
Yeah, we should start to see the front runners, maybe the top 4, go in, like the top.
Oh, Darkly!
Oh no.
We just saw it in the background of Senpai's cam, but Darkly just ran straight into the corner at the chicane, and well, a good race from him has been pretty much destroyed in one corner as cars begin to make their way into the pits. Panda, drive-through penalty, as Senpai and Stan and Kadner as well make their ways into the pits. And while Basink, he will go into the lead for the moment on those mediums, but as I expected, everyone on the softs looking to try and get rid of the worn boots as quickly as they can. But drama here at the second safety car as 2 cars out during the yellow flags.
Yeah, Baz going for the hards here.
One stopping, interesting. Yeah, I respect it. You can eke out the hards all the way to the end of the race, but what I'm presuming he's doing here, he's still doing a 2-stop, but he's going to try and get these hards to go to about 7 or 6 laps before the end of the race, and then he's going to drop them from soft. So I think what he's doing here, he's just trying to gain positions through safety cars maybe, because if look at the cars all in front of him, they're all on mediums, and especially from 8th up to Basink in 1st, they all need to stop at least twice more for most of the cars, unless they want to go for that medium to hard 1-stopper, but I don't think a lot of cars will be doing that here. So interesting strategy battle now coming up here as the second safety car just slowly takes them around the beautiful scenic sights of Marina Bay through the bridge where Mark Webber 2007 race, if I remember correctly, got destroyed via magnets. And well, I'll tell you what, Quirky, have you ever been to Singapore?
No, I haven't. Been to Malaysia, but not Singapore.
But Malaysia is beautiful, but Singapore, like if you're someone like me who loves to explore cities, Singapore is the perfect city to do it. I mean,
I have friends living in Singapore, but
it's
yeah,
good city, especially around Marina Bay here. I mean, they're actually going to be upgrading the this sector where Basink is now going for right now. They're actually upgrading it at in the next year or so, because they're upgrading the floating stadium in front of it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few years, especially with regards to the track, because if I remember correctly, they're going to be improving the stands as well. So you might see a bit of a layout change as well here at Singapore around Marina Bay as they come around for the 7th lap. Know what I'll actually hope for? Instead of having to dive into the front of the stands, you just go straight through behind it. That would be pretty good.
As in, like, just a sort of a straight to sort of mirror the one where the first DRS zone is?
Yes.
Is that what you're...
Yeah, sort of. You get out of that king and you go... I mean, it won't be as long as Napier takes a very wide line there, but it's able to hold his position. But yeah, that would be pretty interesting, in my opinion. It might open up to a bit more, bit more overtaking in the races, but we'll see what happens with the renovations to the float at Marina Bay over time as cars continue to make their ways around the track. And well, look at this. Look at this. Hey, Dino, after being disqualified out of qualifying, he's all the way up into 4th. This is what I was saying about this man. He is a very good driver. He knows how to gain positions back. I mean, a lot of them have come from, well, just from cars coming into the pits, but he has fought for a fair few of those positions as well, and it's rewarded him immensely at the moment. Currently 4th on the track.
Well, safety car should be coming in the lap, I feel like. It should be racing underway relatively soon. The funny thing is, we've had no DRS enabled this entire race.
No, we were supposed to get a lap 3. Got safety car, supposed to come in lap 6. Got another safety car. So when we get on the way to lap 10 would be the time when we finally get to see the back wings open up as safety car goes past intermediate, and yep, Basic will now have control of the field. He immediately stops weaving, and he's going to try and back up the pack here. And well, backing up the pack it's going to be an interesting call for Basic here because he has 2 drivers behind him who he probably thinks is going to be slower than him in Andy Rue and Napier. He probably wants to build up a gap to Heidinho, as Panda now gets a 5-second penalty for colliding with Catalog. So interesting to see what has happened here. But as the safety car clears the field, Basic just going to try and stock him up here as he makes his way through the final chicane. Andy Rue is main rival at the moment, but he's already got a nice little gap here, Basic. He's just going to slow the cars up, and now he's allowed to go here. Goes a little early, but Andy Rue, he might be a bit compromised here. He's not really got the jump he wanted, and he's merely under pressure as we get back to green flag racing here. Heidinho looking for a overtake over on Napier here. He's got a dive bomb. What's happened to Morad there? He's just been completely destroyed as Heidinho has been blocked off there by Napier. Drama in the back of the pack. As the cars continue on here, Buster looking to try and go for a position here on nothing but tilt. He has the racing line, and that's a slam dunk overtake for him there as Senpai currently in 9th position here. Looking to try and gain a few positions for himself as well as going on trying to block off Kata though at the meantime. Kata, does he have the position? It's close, but Kata keeps his nose in front. As Focus, he gets caught in between the sandwich here. Huge lunge there from Senpai, but Kata will eventually hold, go up to the wave. Senpai, he has gained 1 position through all that drama, but he doesn't get the overtake of Kata, which he sorely wanted.
I am not sure what happened to Mo right there, but
it looks like he clipped the curb. Like, it's odd to do it, but you can't do it here as Heidinho. Oh, he just set Buster into the wall, and that's yet another safety car. Heidinho, 5-second penalty for collisions with Stard, and there's drama everywhere as Focus and Panda cop it as well. Till 5-second penalty to him, and now this is a godsend of a safety car here for the cars on mediums, especially for the likes of Basink, who can drop these boots now and get onto fresh rubber as Heidinho gets another 5-second penalty here. Collide with Heidinho, and he will lose a position as Basink heads into the pit lane. Let's see who else will follow him in.
Should be all the ones that have those 7 laps in. So, Heidinho, Basink, Naspa, Andy Rue. Should see all of them go in. But actually not Naspa. He's starting to stay out as well as nothing but tilt. And Focus aren't pitting, so interesting strategy there.
Yeah, that looks like for me, Napier and Tilt and Focus as well, probably looking for a one-stopper with going onto hards after these mediums have served their purpose. Basink able to well, he's able to get the 3 set of boots here, but the field's just still cluttered up enough that he has to go behind as Dino. Looks like he's having internet troubles yet again here as, was that actually disconnected or a retire there for Dino? I couldn't tell.
Disconnect.
Okay, perfect. So he hasn't raged just yet. But yeah, that was a interesting moment there as we actually caught it on stream. Heydinho trying to block off Buster, and well, Buster, he didn't have, well, Heydinho just closed the door on him, and Buster, he didn't realize that he got sent straight into the wall, and well, Heydinho, well, he is very, very far back now. Probably should not be behind anywhere in Panda, all things considered, after those pit stops, but he's effectively forced onto a 1-stop now, unless it's enough safety cars to get him a chance to jump onto mediums. But I don't think, you know what, we've barely had overall like a lap and a half of racing here, Quirky.
Yeah.
Every time we get close, someone either shuts the door or goes a little bit too fast into a corner, and well, the race just gets neutralized, and everyone has to line up behind Mr. Burt Minelander.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a good job. We get to showcase the safety car, the Mercedes SLS. Beautiful safety car.
I'll tell you, actually, I've got a question for you, Quirky. This silver safety car or the red one we've got this year?
I feel like the silver.
That is very respectable. Like, the red one looks good as well, as looks like Tilt is heading into the pits.
No, I want the Aston Martin Vanquish that we saw during Bahrain.
God, that was that was actually, honestly, a beautiful safety car. That, I mean, it was just amazing as Tilt, well, after the safety car has caught the field, he'll be heading straight to the back of the field, so will Focus. So those drivers just been caught out by their strategies, and well, they're definitely at the back of the pack now. Let's just actually have a quick recap of the race so far here, because after 10 laps, and not a lot of driving, all things considered, we've had some pretty decent positional changes here. As Napier now holds command in first place, but he's probably the last driver yet to pit here. So he'll be coming in probably a lap or two after the safety car has returned back into the pit lane. Star now second and holding the net race lead at the moment. Behind him, Kata, who's had a pretty good run of it, moving up to third. Senpai into fourth. Baz and Formal as well, both having monstrous races so far. Into 56, respectively. Money into 7. Midnight, respectable in 8th, along with Tico and Knife. Bassing, well, has stopped during this last safety car, so he's into 10th, but he will have fresher rubber than everyone else in front of him. Then behind him will be Andy Roo, Panda, Heydinho, who was driving well until that incident with Buster. Then Dover, Tilt, and Focus to be completing the field at the moment are retirees: Buster, Morab, Darkly, and Jackson.
Funny thing is, Panda still has yet to do a drive-through penalty for speeding up the safety car.
But he hasn't had the chance.
That's the problem.
Well, luckily for him, if I remember correctly, the game doesn't count safety cars as laps counted, so he still has plenty of time to have that done as safety car in early this time around. Well, that means if hopefully we have clean racing and Mylander doesn't have to come back out yet again, we'll have DRS conditions at lap 12. But for now, Napier has control of the field. He's a little bit closer than the other two drivers have been at the front of the pack during safety car restarts, but he should have enough of a gap that the limiter shouldn't be an issue for him here as safety car makes his way into the pits. He's holding him, waiting for the last little second to jump, and he will go now. Very late restart for him there. Might cause some drama in the back of the field, but for now, Napier, beautiful start there. Gets a nice little gap to start, and Kata looking for an attack on the inside. And he has to defend now to Senpai. Kata on the inside, able to just squeeze out as Stan has clipped it into the wall here. A little bit of damage now, but he takes the lead. He takes the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix here, even with damage. He's able to get past Napier as, oh no, actually Napier might be the driver of damage here. Might have lost that left end plate. And well, Stan has just said thank you very much for that as he takes the lead, and he's already building up a pretty decent gap here to everyone behind him.
Yeah, it's mostly because Napier is holding everybody up as
a bit of tire touching there between Kata and Napier as Kata's going to go for it again. He's very impatient with him there. He forces him wide, but he gets the job done. And now Senpai smells blood in the water, trying to do the same as well. Can he get the position? He's not going to launch it at the hairpin here. He's just going to wait as he has a little bit of oversteer there. Might just allow Napier to get away here, but a lot of action in the front of the pack here under restart conditions. No one has collided as of yet, though, as well, apart from a little tyre bumping here, it's been a pretty clean restart as all. There we go, Panda. He's lost it there, but I think that might only be resulting in him going into the pits.
Is drive-through penalty or is depends what team allows. As do you have the fastest lap here by Stan, 142.3.
And here we go, Senpai making the move on Napier here, has got the nose in front, close to swiping the tail, but he's able to get past him. Napier continuing on here, just trying his best to keep his slightly wounded car in a reasonable spot here, but now he's lost multiple positions here as Basik's able to get the overtake done on Tico here. And Baz has been able to overtake money here, and well, look at this. Baz, he fought the overtake on Formal, but he just couldn't get the stopping distance on those hards.
Yeah, I mean, both Formal and Baz on these hard compound tyres at the moment. So they're not going to have the speed that Maspa has, or at least he has on those mediums, but 11 laps left on those mediums though, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge for Naspa. He needs to get into the pits pretty soon, I reckon.
Yeah, as I said earlier, he's probably looking for a one-stopper here, so he'll be pitting around lap 13 if I'm not mistaken, as well, during the intervening moments, Bassing has got the position over Money as nothing but tilt now. Looks like he's lost it there at the hairpin. Not sure how his car's looking at the moment, as might have some damage there, as about to say, Formal and Bassick now able to sandwich up Baz here. This could be huge as Andy Roo, he's out of the session. He's lost it there as they head in front of the stand, and that's going to result in a VSC this time around, so it's going to be an interesting option here, and immediately one car goes in. It'll be Napier taking the free pit stop if he can. He's clipped his car once again, and well, that's just compromised him a fair bit there as he's taken, well, it's time to come through as Focus will get a VSC penalty as well.
Yeah, not looking good for...
Oh, he's got a puncture. Napier's got a puncture, and there's cars behind him as well now, who will be slowed up for a very, very long time here. Nothing but tilt. He'll come into the pits, and he will actually have a massive advantage here as we go back to green. And oh no, that is disastrous for Money Midnight. Well, Money and Midnight here as they got caught behind that wounded AlphaTauri, and well, they couldn't overtake him in the pits, so they're going to lose a heap of time because of his puncture.
That's going to be frustrating, but there's nothing you can really do. It is a bug in the...
Oh, here we go. Bassink, he's got the position over Baz there. The man on the medium tyres able to get that position done and dusted here now. He is on fresher tyres to Formal, so you would think Formal should give the position up here, and yep, here we go. Formal, he goes a bit wide there, and Bassink, he says thank you very much, and he's been released to catch up to Senpai, Kata, and Stein as Baz. He's going to go for an overtake here on Formal. Formal very wide, but he will have the better speed out. But Baz has done enough through the corner to gain that position, and well, in the space of 2 corners, Max has dropped from 4th to 6th.
Well, to be fair, Baz did have DRS because he was behind.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, remember DRS? So yeah, it's not that big of a problem here. But now Formula needs to get into that minute mark so he can get the DRS, possibly challenge Baz, but look at the gap that Baz is putting onto Formula now.
Yeah, it's kind of gets a free second penalty for track limits. This is what we expected from Baz. I mean, he was always going to be in a bit of a recovery drive situation here, but he has driven the nuts off his Ferrari so far. Dino also now cops a free second penalty as well here. But there's still a pretty decent gap between him and Senpai. Same with Bassik here. For Baz is about a 12-second gap. Bassik gets a 9.2. So they do need to try and close up in front, or to the drivers in front here. They are on slightly better tyres here, Bassik and Baz. Those mediums will be worse to the hards in about 2 or 3 laps time. So yeah, Baz just trying his best to catch up along with Bassink to the rest of the field here. For a moment, Bassink with the yellow wall tyres, he's building up a nice little gap here on Baz. It's hovering around 2.4 here, but it is slowly but surely starting to increase.
It's going to be interesting, when these tyres, start to fail, how the drivers handle it through quarters, like, the stadium, the hairpin onto the bridge straight, and that first set of corners as well. It's going to be very difficult to try and get that grip that you used to have back, at least struggle with from your cars.
Dover! Looks like he's just sent it straight into the wall as Senpai. He can't get the position in time. He went for the dive, but the safety car comes in to nix his attempt. And well, this is huge for Bassing and Baz and Formula and Tico as well, because all those cars will now get the chance to get very close to our front runners here. And well, I hate to say it, but maybe some PK Crashgate tactics there from the Ferrari stable?
No. Baz. It's not just Baz. We have devious tactics with the Ferraris. It's not that devious.
But yeah, that's what is this, 4th safety car now of the session. Kata has gone very, very wide there through the old sling, and Senpai, he gets a position pretty much for free there because Kata is going off the track. So huge stuff for Senpai there, who gets the position over the Haas driver.
Really good work there from Senpai, but he is it was pretty much just Kata's fault there, just going wide through the slingers. Soon we'll get to catch up with the safety car. And we're only halfway through this race. We've had 4 safety cars. I don't think we anticipated that much. 1 VSC. We've had probably 2 laps of DRS activated.
If yeah. It's been a race, that's for sure here. As in saying that though, we've only had 6 retirements, so maybe we were expecting a slightly higher attrition rate with all those safety cars, but it's mostly been 1-for-1 for safety cars and VSCs, as we do see Star and Senpai head into the pits. Kata has decided against it here, so he'll be looking to try and keep those beams on, or going for a swap on to another set of mediums here a bit later on, but he does have a few penalties to his name as well, so that is going to be very interesting for him here as Kata catches up to the safety car now. And well, as I said, this is going to be huge for the likes of Bassink, Baz, and Formal, who have pretty much, have really gained a lot of positions here from all these safety cars. They will have to make one more stop respectively here. I'm presuming Baz will either stop either onto mediums in about 5 laps times, or onto soft in 8 or 9 as he catches up to Bassink. But for the man referenced, Bassink, he will probably look to try and go onto softs a bit later on maybe, although saying that though, might actually be ideal for him to go into mediums in 4 laps time. But obviously the Red Bulls having a pretty huge strategy advantage over Baz now, especially considering they are still sandwiching him on the track.
Good old Ferrari sandwich.
Well, yeah, let's see if we'll see how he goes with the with what position he's in soon enough. But yeah, I'll tell you what though, within 2 laps, the field was actually very, very spread out there. Like this is
yeah, people.
There you go.
I mean, we've had people going into pit stops, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
there's pit stop timing as well as other stuffs.
Yeah. And yeah, the really interesting thing though was just, I mean, within 2 laps we saw pretty much the entire field spaced out by maybe 2 or 3 man pockets. So this is definitely a very driver-based track here. If you can keep your nose clean, you do get a massive advantage here, and that's what I was saying earlier for the likes of like, well, it didn't reference the Alfa Romeos, but let's talk about them right now here. They do try to keep their noses clean. And for a track like Singapore, that is honestly huge because you keep your nose clean.
You get rewarded.
Yeah, exactly. You get rewarded. I mean, we've had 4 safety cars right now. I think they've had to pit maybe twice each. Obviously, Midnight got caught up behind Napier in that little kerfuffle with Napier having to come in with a puncture. But apart from that, they've been driving quite well, the Alphas. They've got a bit of a gap now over a few behind them. And they'll be looking to just try and get a nice tally of points here. So if both of them can finish, and both of them can finish around 10th or 11th, that will probably be huge, all things considered, for them. I just want to point something out. Look where nothing but tilt is compared to the rest of the field. I wonder if he's going to catch up to him in time before the safety car comes in. That's going to be interesting for him there, but there should be one more lap of safety car, you would think, so he should be able to tack on to the back of the field by the time the safety car returns into the pit lane once again. But yeah, it's as I said, it's been an interesting race, and I mean, with so many safety cars, there hasn't really been much to talk about here because, I mean, every time we get some good racing going, it always seems like Mr. Mylander wants to come out here and showcase that Mercedes SLS.
I mean, it's a beautiful car. I don't blame them. But so it is annoying, but it is part of racing. This game, especially online. There's nothing you can't really choose. We're gonna get one more lap with the safety car.
Yeah, it won't be any of the issues we normally have with safety cars, or some of the issues we have with safety cars where they just decide to come into the pits very, very late and they just send the field behind them into some pretty hectic moments. But now at the very least, all the cars have not lost too much damage here as they make their way around the home straight. One more lap, you would think, under the safety car before we get back to green flag racing for 12 or 13 more laps of hopefully green flag action. I mean, we must be reaching the limit as well as safety cars in 50% races because I'm pretty sure the max is either 4 or 5, so...
I honestly don't know if there is a max.
I remember there was some talk about it, but, I mean... we'll find out soon enough, I suppose, with how many cars we've seen go off here. But yeah, it's been a race where about 75% of the laps currently taken, you know, have been under yellow or safety car conditions. So, yeah. It's been drama filled without too much drama on the track, so to speak.
Yeah. Yes. See how much drama we can get on that restart as we finally have nothing but catching up. There we go, he finally catches up.
Yep. And as they make their way through the back straight here, I'm just thinking now strategy-wise because, I mean, right now, if there is another safety car in the next 2 or 3 laps, that probably opens up most of the field to going on to mediums. But
Safety car's in this lap.
yeah, so 11 laps, probably the limit of where the mediums are useful here. So Kata probably only gets 1 lap to try and build up enough of a margin to dive into the pits. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens here with strategy, as a lot of cars probably looking to make the swap either onto mediums in 3 laps time, or the softs in 6 to 8 laps, as they make their way through the final corner. Kato's really backed them up here, and as the safety car comes in, Kata, he keeps a nice tight line, but he will go sooner rather than later here. He's at a massive start. Bassick in the course lead, Kata! He spun it on the old tyres, and Bassick has been gifted the lead there as Kata has had an absolute masser there. And he's gone off at the last corner. He's lit up the tyres a bit too much there. And from first, he's all the way back into last.
Jeez, oh my god, that overconfidence there, I think, from Kata's absolute bins it through that final corner. Oh, just not getting grip that he was looking for, probably. Maybe not having enough heat in the tyres.
Tico's made it and underneath Formal, but Formal looking for the switch back, and oh, Tico's put him into the wall! Tico and Formal have collided! Tico's out, and Max, he nearly gets taken out as well this session, but he continues on. He has no front wing. Safety car will not be coming out, so it seems, so we're still on the green flag conditions for the moment, but oh, that is a massive moment between Tico and Formal, who, well, will probably be at the back of the pack now, and he will be not too happy with one of his many co-casters.
No, he wouldn't. Spacey, Sing Senpai right up the ass of Baz here, trying to look for a move on the Ferrari, but doesn't look like he can find one. Just tries to go now onto the inside, but through the stadium, not going to be. Yeah. Last defending here from Baz, but we are going to be going onto the straight pretty soon. And it is hards versus fresh mediums, so
this could be a slam dunk, but San as well looking to try and make his point note shortly as well, as here we go. Can Senpai get the job done here? It was always hard to overtake without DRS on the straight, so he's just biding his time here. Might look to try and do it here as Ronnie gets 3-second penalty. Baz goes a little wide, but now he is backing up Senpai into start, and that could make things so much interesting here as Senpai has put it in behind Baz there, gets a penalty. Looks like a track limit violations here, but yeah, Senpai nearly running up the behind of Baz here as Stan just tries to keep his nose clean as well. But Senpai just can't overtake at the moment here. He knows he has the better car on the better tyres, but yeah, he just can't overtake Baz, who is putting out a defensive masterclass at the moment, as Panda able to overtake Midnight as well off screen.
Absolute gloves here from Baz. He's trying to defend his second place. He's
here we go.
Goes a bit wide at the hairpin, but does manage to keep it safe. But we'll have DRS next lap.
Oh, and he nearly runs into him once again here. Senpai playing it fast and loose in the braking zone here. Really putting Baz into a few awkward situations, but Baz defending brilliantly at the moment here as the field once again begins to spread out here. It is Formal currently on his lonesome in last, while his teammate has built up a massive gap up in first. He's already 3.6 seconds in front of Baz here, Bassing. And well, this is what he wanted here as DRS gets enabled now. And this could just be what the doctor ordered for Senpai and Stan, as they are stuck behind Baz for yet another set of corners here. And that just opens it up for Bassing even more, as his gap now moves up to 4 seconds.
I mean, Bass just flying away with his lead at the moment. But I think we should have gained that red zone. Do we see the move?
Dive bomb?
Goes for the inside.
Oh! He's run straight into Baze. He's lost the front wing, but he's still going to try and get the job done here in the next corner. He goes wide, and even with front wing damage, he gets a position, and now Stan looking to try and grab a piece of the action as well, but he won't be able to catch up to Baz this time around. He will have DRS once again, but Senpai, even with Baz on 10-lap old hards, should now be a little bit concerned heading into this back straight here, because Baz will have a front wing. He should have a better exit coming off the hairpin here. Senpai, a little bit of oversteer here, but he might just have enough of a gap to make that point mute.
We'll see with the dive. Possible? No. He'll make his move. Jinx. I'm just waiting for somebody to step up here.
Yeah, as we watch that as well, we'll just quickly flick on over to the mid-pack here, as Haydinho has already made his way up to 6 here. Panda and Money now fighting for 7th. As Senpai builds a small gap, but it's not enough to get rid of DRS here for Baz, as Star now looks for a chance to overtake the Ferrari, but once again, that little bit of DRS there for Baz will make that pretty darn hard to do here for the Williams, as he's driving right up Baz's clacker here, but Baz keeping within the 1 second gap between him and Senpai, as Basin continues to build up this gap, a pretty big gap as well here. He'll be looking to try and maybe drain out these mediums for a lap or two more now, if he can, to get onto the softs, and more importantly, into fresh air behind these cars. But right now, this is actually also working out well for Stan here, because the cars in front of him will more than likely have to stop. And, well, Senpai's an interesting one. He will have wing damage, however, and will have worse tyres at the end of the race. So for Stan here, the reserve driver for Williams, this could really be huge.
Yeah, so bit of debris there coming in from Inez. You see, Baz is still behind. He is slowly losing time to Senpai.
Yeah. He's lost time as all. There we go. Money has lost to the hairpin. He's gone a bit too hard, and that will open up Panda to move finally into 7th spot there. Wasn't expecting Panda to get the overtake like that, but he gets the overtake done as Basing moves into a 7-second gap now here. He will not hit, however, this time around. He knows that he can continue to build up this gap with the Renault effectively blocking the 2 faster drives behind him, and well, one of them on 15-lap old hards here. Baz will have a bit of an interesting challenge in the next few laps to try and keep those tyres reliable.
As he's just trying to keep on pace with Senpai, which he is actually doing at this moment. As actually Stan has fallen behind a bit, but he will still have DRS onto this right here. Baz can't really find anything trying to overtake Senpai with. He's too far behind.
Yeah, he's a bit too far behind here, as I just want to flick things over to the leader gap now, as we'll just look at the gap here that's been built up for Basing compared to, let's say, up to about 7th here. And he can probably just slot in between Haydinho and Panda, but both of them are on hards here, and both of them will probably try to look to get to the end of the race here. So for Basing now, those mediums are on a time limit here, but they have been under many laps of safety cars, so he might be able to extend them out to a point where it might be viable enough for him to go into softs and really start to, well, catch up to the cars in front of him, who will be on very old hards. But for the moment, Basing currently leader on the road here, but he does have that pit stop to worry about here. A safety car for him here would probably mean he would slot into 4th position behind Stan, which would be huge for him if there was a yellow flag or a VSC at the opportune time. A safety car would be even massive for him, because that will probably force everyone onto softs and he will hold position over everyone. But for now, he's just trying to drive the wheels off the excuse me, off the Red Bull, as Money has had an incident in there at the hairpin. Oh, this could be huge. He needs to move the car out in time. He has a bit of damage here now, Kata. He has to be careful here, Kata. Will he run into him? Oh, he just gets it out in time. And Kata will get the overtake as well to boot. So for Money, able to avoid a huge incident there. But if Kata was 1 second closer to Money, that might have been the safety car that Basing would have been hoping and dreaming for. As there's a yellow flag here, and that's Basing! Basing has spun it there! And while that gap is about to fall to smithereens, as Senpai is now right up its Kalaka, that 8.5 second gap quickly turned into a 1.3 second gap, even less now. Senpai looking to try and get this done on the road here, but Basing able to just hold up that gap long enough.
Needs to worry about DRS and all of that hard work that he had. You know, those tires starting to degrade past the point where he has no grip. Go see, try and get it. Goes through the outside, but coming up onto the stadium corner. But
and that is Basic into the wall. He won't be out. But once again, Haas has to worry about a car turn in. Oh, that could have been bad, but Basic able to just pull it to the side of the road in time here. And now these people being next car to go through, but Basic is out in time. But that is huge for Sing Senpai, Baz, and Stan here, because now they have a massive gap to work with here. Heidinho is starting to close up a touch, but his hearts will eventually start to degrade. But yeah, those 3 leaders right now, a massive gap for them to work with.
Yeah, it's going to be a thing for the stewards to look at, that contact between Senpai and Basink there. That'll definitely be a above contention, as Baz actually overtook Six while we were talking about that point.
Yeah, Baz a good overtake there as well. Just sent it, and well, he got the position from it here, so he regains position that Sing Senpai took about 6 or 7 laps now ago, and well, he'll be looking to try and build up much of the gap as he can, but his hearts are starting to degrade, and well, he doesn't want to befall the same fate that happened to poor old Basing, who is now in 8th position here out of the pits, with a bit of a gap between him, Kata, and Midnight. But for now, his race, well, unfortunately for him, after such lofty heights, it's just fallen down.
And that's why he gets a 3-second warning there for track limits. Let's see how well Baz can do. We have 6 laps left, and I feel like it's been an eternity here, Chris. Just safety car after safety car after safety car after VSC after safety car. But we've had no safety cars for a good 10 laps or so. That's some decent racing. Stani's looking to try and get the overtake for the 6, but that may have been a second defensive maneuver there.
I think Senpai was regaining his racing line, so if that was the case, that is completely fair. You can move again to regain your position on the line, as Baz, well, nearly sends it a bit too wide, but he's able to recover in time. Sink stays within his DRS zone as well, so it should be enough to block off Stan for the moment.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, Senpai is actually losing time to Baz here. When he was on that straight with DRS. I'm not sure how that was the case there, but...
Yellow flags.
Do you have
that is...
NASPAR on it in stadium?
At the stand, yep. So that will give Formal another position back.
Ooh, Kata.
Yep, currently instead of 7th,
Easy.
and his internet has lost it here, so for basing, this could be huge. Might be able to get another position for himself here, but we'll see how he goes. Obviously, the AI now takes over for Kata until he can get back, and well, for Kata, that AI is only at 41 points, so could be huge for him and the Haas boys, as Star now gets a 3-second penalty here. And something to point out, look at the penalty timers here. This could be huge at the end of the race, because now Senpai and Stan and Heidinho and Pena as well have 3-second penalties. If Baz can somehow manage these hards to last to the end of the race, he might just sneak off an unbelievable victory here at Singapore. As Stan takes a position as Senpai nearly bins it into the wall, but he's able to recover from the runoff and return onto the track.
Yeah, really good stuff there from Sinks to not cause another safety car. But at the moment, we are just, starting to see this field spread out incredibly thin at the moment. GC, bit of a battle happening for 9th place. Nothing but tilt, 0.6 seconds behind Midnight. Midnight will be happy with his performance here. He's got a top 10 finish, hopefully. Don't want to. He's in the top 10 at the moment. I don't want to curse him like George
just
Russell.
yet, indeed, as Stan has just got another penalty there for his consideration. So that drops him back down to 3rd place, although he's building up a gap now between himself and Senpai. So might not be a huge difference here, as Bassing now on those softs, just looking to try and get this done over Catalog here, who is back in the session proper, but compared against the softs to the car behind him here, this should be a nice overtake here for Basing. He forces Kata a little wide, but nothing wrong with that. That's a nice overtake from the Red Bull to move up to 7th.
Good stuff there from Basing, as Kata's joined back. I think his game crashed. He has said in the Discord he wonders how to join back. I do not know the answer for him, but it's unfortunate for him. Like, big yikes. As you take a look down that field, and it looks like Formal's gaining on nothing here at the moment, as Midnight was able to get a gap over.
Oh, there we go. He just
Formal.
Just caught it on stream there. Formal able to just make the move on to Tilt. I think Tilt might have been a bit slow there for the old sling. So, yeah, he's able to get that position back up to 10th now. And he'll be looking to try and overtake Midnight as well. I think he's on better tyres compared to the Alfa Romeo. So he might be able to just sneak his way up into 9th position as you get to the final few laps here. And, well, Baz, he now has a commanding position to work with here. That one stop might have just paid off huge dividends here, but these hards, these very, very old hards, who are now 21 laps done here, they are slowly but surely getting into puncture territory for him here. So he needs to manage them very well, because if he gets a little bit too hard here in the final few corners, well, that could be the Ferrari's race blown up once again, and well, for the Scuderia, that would be horrific.
I'm just going to help Kata.
All good as Kata currently in 8th spot here, still with internet issues. Will slowly continue to fall back here, especially with, actually, Midnight's actually on the better tyres compared to Formal, but obviously Formal has the better driving as all. Who's just binned it there? I think that might just be the other AlphaTauri of Focus there. Will allow Basing to move up to 6. And that could just allow Kata as well, once he gets back into the game, an opportunity to regather that 7th position as well here. So for the Red Bulls, they are recovering very well here. But from what could have been at least one of them in the top 5, they've just continued the awful luck they've had it mid-race, and well, they'll be happy to collect a fair few points after some good recovery driving from Basing and Formal.
Yeah, I mean, both of them, unfortunately, getting tangled up in crashes. And 6th place for Bassing will be happy with his recovery drive.
As Formal now gets, he's actually going to go for it here before or just after the stadium, and well, he's able to slam dunk Midnight there. So a nice overtake for Formal to get up to 9th, and now he's going to have to try and get up to Kato, but from the way Kato is driving, I believe he is back into the session proper here. So Focus now will have to try and defend his position here as there's a yellow flag in Nacebar. Oh, that is a bad position to lose it there. That could just be a last second safety car. Oh, it's close, but it is slow in there, so you can't just get past it without too much hassle here. So no safety car from the game. Looks like we're going green through to the finish.
As we head to the second to last lap here. Start's actually caught up a bit with Baz here, as those tyres are starting to fade for him. So we may have a bit of a battle for first on our hands here in the last lap, maybe. If starting to get
that's
into
9
DRS
seconds penalties for him now. So yeah, as long as Baz doesn't have a blowout, this is looking like an unbelievable drive from him. After unbelievably poor qualifying, he might have just pulled off the drive of the season here, Baz, to win the Singaporean Grand Prix.
Yep. But Star's in DRS mode. Or in DRS rain. So though Baz might not finish first, he will definitely finish first. As we do have a green flag as Focus. Sorry,
That's Midnight.
Been to at the end of the
third DRS
straight there.
Yeah, looks like he's just run a bit wide here. He's lost a fair bit of wing. Might open up for money to jump up into 11th spot, but oh, nearly puts it into the wall just underneath the stand, but he's able to keep it together here at Midnight. But let's see if he can hold on as Baz makes his way to the float at Marina Bay to greet the crowd for the second to last time under racing conditions here. Trying to hold off Star to win the race on the road. More than likely he will win it after penalties have been considered here. But Baz, he has said that one of his main focuses is on clean driving to make sure he respects the track limits and not get pinged for these time penalty warnings. And well, once again, he has shown that he has been a very clean driver, has driven this car pretty much to a T here, and it's going to pay off huge for him here after, as I said, a poor qualifying. He is on the cusp of winning yet another Grand Prix, this man.
Yeah, boy. We have this much focus. We got Monaco next, Chris.
Yes, we do, as Stein is able to take the position over Baz there. And well, if you thought Singapore was wild, get ready for Monaco as Stein. He will win on the track, but Baz, with all penalties considered, will win it overall here as Stein tries feverishly to build up a 9-second gap, but I don't think he'll do it here within the next few corners. So yeah, that's unfortunate for the Williams, who has had a pretty good run, but yeah, it just feels like he's always kept in the he's always in trouble. As nothing but tilt has been that will just stay out of the leader's way here, but yeah, he's just caught it on the curb as he's given his rear wing something to think about there.
Midnight gets a 3-second penalty for track limits there. Fortunate for him, but he has had a clean race up until now, pretty much, in terms of track limits and keeping out of trouble. Just that spin there in that last lap or so. It's pretty much his only real fault that he's done. But we are heading into the final corners here, Chris.
Yes, we are. Stan will win on the road, but Baz, no penalties for him. He wins yet another Grand Prix. The Ferrari is proud once again, and he will take off what has been an unbelievable drive to its pinnacle. Another Grand Prix with Stan respectable enough in second. A huge try from him as well, but unfortunately he's unable to win with all the penalties he has accumulated Panda looking to try and catch up to Heidinho, but won't be able to here with penalties as he finishes 3 seconds adrift of the Haas driver, who will get yet another podium for himself. And now, still a bit of fighting behind here as Cadillac has actually overtaken Basic there in the final few corners. And he'll run into 6. Basic will still have the advantage though with penalties here, so just needs to keep the gap nice and close. But he has done enough here. He's gone a little bit too wide though, but it won't matter.
Ooh.
He will hold 6th place into his hands. Next drivers along will be Focused, followed by Formal, who just had a very torrid time for him there. He has gained though quite nicely from where he was in qualifying. However, the behind them will be Muddy, Midnight, and Nothing But Tilt. As the cars finish off this Grand Prix. It's been drama-filled, but it's only an appetizer to Monaco.
Yeah.